This is episode 6.
7.
Okay.
7.
Oh.
You already messed up.
I'm not restarting it. This is episode 7, guys. I'm Mike. I'm with Lance, and Steve is our guest.
Mm-hmm. Steve Skorna.
Welcome, Steve, to the show.
Thanks for having me, guys.
So this is Brotherhood of the Traveling Podcast, the podcast that comes to you. We're in my basement.
Again.
We've done a lot of traveling lately, so... Oh, God, she snapped me back. But, yeah. So, if you know how this works, basically, we travel to our guest's house sometimes, and they pick the topic, and then we talk about it. But me and Lance have no idea what the topic's about. I feel like we don't explain that enough in the episodes. That's what makes this show unique. You can find us on YouTube. Follow us at BHOT Podcast.
Yep.
That stands for Brotherhood of the Traveling Podcast. Hey, what's up, Steve?
Not much, guys.
What's going on?
So, I got some topics.
Before we start, actually, I have a question for you. It's a quick question. I'm sorry. Was the boobies thing funny on the last podcast? Because I kept saying, I just listened to the last podcast, and I kept saying boobies, and I thought it was really funny, and I was dying.
It's not the last podcast. It's Phelan and
okay, Phelan and Diane's
episode.
podcast, yeah.
Wait, wasn't
Not
that the
Mike's.
last one?
No, Mike's is going to be the last one.
When this comes out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I get it, like, it wasn't funny, even though I thought it was hilarious. But I thought the boobies thing was
Well,
funny.
here's the thing. I was so unentertained by the last one that I didn't even notice that, Lance.
I mean,
well,
but it was in the
actually,
beginning.
I did say you were the funniest one, though.
He did actually. He said that, yeah.
Pa! Pa! Pa!
Yeah,
That's
shots
shots.
fired.
I already told Phelan, and I got...
Chewed
she
out.
fired back at me, too, saying, oh, well, I'm sorry this wasn't to your liking, or no one cares about your
Wow.
liking, or something like that.
Oh, shit.
I saw it.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So, all right. That's
Yeah.
out there. No hard feelings anywhere
No.
for
Love you,
anyone.
Phelan. Love you, Diane.
So, yeah. Topic time. Steven Skorna.
All right. So
high expectations for this.
I got one main topic.
Okay.
That's gonna be like our main discussion, but I want to start with like a subtopic.
Okay.
And I thought about it on my way over here, and
Is it
you know
butt?
what?
Is it butt?
It's
You have
not
yet
butt.
to have butt.
So
Come on, you
it involves driving.
You have yet to have butt.
It involves. Shh. Let me explain. It involves driving. Okay.
Driving. I like this.
And what pisses you off when you're driving? Okay.
Pisses me off when I'm
And one of my biggest pet peeves
Okay.
when driving is when a semi-truck is in a left lane of a 3-lane road. So
like a highway?
So like a highway, but like Grossbeck, it's like 3 lanes
Yeah.
at one
Okay,
point.
right.
And a semi-truck is in the very left lane, driving for like miles.
What if they have to make a left turn?
He actually did end up making a left turn, but he was there for about 4 miles, and I was stuck behind him. So I guess my question is, why? Why?
I feel like...
Going 10 miles per hour under the speed limit, and I was just really...
Was this on Grossbeck?
It was.
Where it happened?
It was.
Did you know that Cass and Grossbeck is the most...
Stop. Is it a one way or is it a 2-way?
Grossbeck.
No, dude, Grossbeck's like a highway, bro.
Have you ever been on
Right.
Grossbeck?
No, I get it. So like I'm just curious. How did you make a left then if it's a one way? That's my.
He just turned, got
Like
into the left turn lane, and
No, it's not a one-way. It's a two-way road.
He just said it was a highway.
Grossbeck Highway? Well, Grossbeck's... Okay, technically Grossbeck's a highway, but like there's no what do they call that? Like
divider.
Yeah. there's
Okay.
no, like, barrier,
Right. Okay.
no.
Okay. All
It's
right,
not like
okay.
I-75.
So he was just driving.
in the left lane.
Yeah, for the entirety of the time. He ended up making a left turn, which is irrelevant because...
Could you not go around him?
Was there a lot of
There was a lot of traffic, so I could not go around him. I was just, stuck behind
I
this
feel
guy.
like... Okay, let's start with this. How would you classify yourself as a driver? Like a good, safe driver?
No,
Do you
I would
speed
say
sometimes?
like when I have people in the car, I'm more safe than when I'm just by myself. I'm a pretty aggressive driver though.
What do
By
you-
myself.
What do you drive?
G6, Pontiac G6.
He's an aggressive driver. He's like a G6.
Stop. You're being gay right now. No, obviously, I would think that
I really thought you were gonna go in.
because, I mean, I don't know. Like if there's traffic, like I just feel like That's why he was over there, because it's like no one's really moving that fast anyway because of traffic.
Like, was it stop and go traffic?
No,
Or
like
it was
people were
flowing
passing
traffic?
us, but
So why didn't you pass him?
It was just I didn't want to cut anyone off because people were zooming by
Yeah,
us.
screw
We
that
were
nigga.
going so slow.
No, man. You just gotta.
Well, I mean, he probably got in the left-hand lane at some point thinking, I'm going to need to get over here anyway, so I might as well do it now while I can.
Of course.
And he's a semi-truck driver, dude. Like,
I just didn't like it.
he ignorant.
Right, and was it like a cross country semi truck, or was it like a back and forth
I
semi
have
truck?
no idea what you're asking.
No, I mean, because this is an actual thing. Because he could have just worked for the company and been driving a truck, or he could have actually be a truck driver. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Because there's people. Okay, for example, I worked at Data Mail, and there was a guy. He worked warehouse.
You just quit there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When there was a guy who worked in the warehouse and he drove the truck.
Right.
So he didn't really know how to properly drive a semi truck. He just drove the truck. But there's people who like drive semi trucks, like, you know what I'm saying?
For a living. Right, I understand.
Right, and I feel like they wouldn't have gotten to the left hand lane.
Okay, can I ask you something? How the fuck is he supposed to know that?
Okay, was the cap? This is
Wait, you're
extremely relevant.
Wait, you're telling me that he's supposed to classify the driver?
Shut
when
up!
he's
Shut up!
behind
I
him?
wanna. Oh, shut up. Okay, was the cab of the truck like big?
Yes.
Like, was it?
It wasn't like a short like truck. It was like one of those big like
18
like
wheeler.
there? No, I'm saying. Okay, the part where he's driving in the cab, the truck.
Right.
Was it just like 2 seats and then there was nothing behind him, or was it like 2 seats and then there was the huge thing behind him? Like,
Yeah.
Not the trailer.
Right. No, I
The huge like thing.
Yeah.
Okay,
there
so
was.
he's an actual semi truck driver.
Yeah.
So that's what he does for a living. He's an actual semi truck driver.
Wow, I'm glad we figured that out.
Right. So I do feel like he should know that he shouldn't have gotten to the left hand.
Yeah.
So
So
I don't know why he was doing
Well,
that.
it
Probably
could've-
just because he was like, but maybe it's probably because he was like, well, traffic's pretty heavy. I don't want to get into the left hand lane.
You see that? That's your level. You're
Right,
loud.
because you're pissing me off. Because you're being stupid. I want to. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Bam! I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry.
He flinched like a bitch.
Yeah. Well, I hit him.
Oh man.
I'm
So
I'm concussed.
I just thought about that on the way over here, and it just
Right.
really rattled me. I know a lot of people can relate to that
Right.
because I'm sure it's happened to them. The other thing I kind of want to talk about driving, and I thought about this the
Is
other
this
day.
your subtopic still?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Still my subtopic is what cars do you trust when you're driving behind them? So like, what I mean by that is like you're driving behind a person and like you're kind of like in a rush for work or school, and you're like driving behind a car. It's a certain type of car.
Yeah.
And you're driving behind them,
I know
and
exactly
you're
what
like,
you mean.
man,
Yeah, right.
I,
Like, if you
I
had
don't-
to
I don't
choose-
trust this car right here.
So, like, okay, so, like,
I feel
you're
like
stuck-
I feel like if a light turned yellow
Yeah.
and they have a
Yeah.
chance to go,
I know.
they won't go.
Or like you're stuck at a red light and you wanna, and there's like a Charger, a minivan, and like a semi truck. You're obviously gonna get behind the Charger.
course.
Right, that's what I was gonna
to get
say.
in front of the other.
Of
two
course.
lanes.
Any
Yeah.
fast car.
Yeah.
Any fast car.
So what I
And-
thought about was you should never trust a Buick.
Oh
Really
yeah, for
horrible.
sure. Because they're usually old people.
Oh, yeah.
Or Joe
Yeah.
Gollin.
Oh,
He
yeah.
drove a Buick and he drove slow.
Joe Gollin now drives a red Chevy Cruze, license plate BBC9469. So don't get behind that car.
No, that's actually a good point. I would always get behind like whatever car I think is faster.
Right.
Or if I can see kind of like, you know, you can like
That's-
kind of like see like into their
Yeah,
car.
yeah.
Who's driving?
Right.
That's what I would.
I would
say.
if it's a girl, I don't.
If I see any
Oh.
type of hair, like longer hair, I don't even bother.
All right, so you ever get behind like a Camaro or like a Mustang?
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, I'm getting behind them because I know they're gonna drive fast, and then
Oh,
they don't.
And then the freaking SUV just outguns them. Yeah, a Range Rover. Those are good cars to get behind.
Yeah,
Oh,
because those
yeah,
guys are
yeah,
usually
yeah.
assholes.
So
I
now,
apologize if you have a Range Rover.
I drive a Range Rover.
what to you guys? Who was the worst driver? Like what type of person?
Oh, old men.
So old men.
Old men.
I already have my answer, so I want to hear from you guys.
Old men.
I mean, old people in
No.
general, but I would say the old men, just like, for some reason, they're like,
Worst as in
I'm
how,
ornery and don't have to drive.
worst as in how like they
Like slow, kind of like don't really pay attention. Not really good at lane changing. You know.
When I think of
The
worst
basics.
drivers,
Old
like
people.
the slow drivers that are bad at lane changing don't really phase me because like like I'm faster than them, so I can always there. At some point, I will always get around them, whether it is legal or illegal. I will get around them because I just don't have time to stay behind slow people. The people that piss me off the most when I'm driving is the people that are like basically people like myself, people that drive like myself, which are fast.
No, I love it.
Which are fast and they lane change. I make it into a game and I try to play defense against them. So like if I see someone gets behind me because they're trying to like get ahead and then get back into their lane, I kind of slow down and make sure that they can't make the lane change back. And then I see them go back into their old lane because they think that lane's going faster, and then that's when I zoom off. So I'm an asshole, guys.
Yeah,
that's what that means.
That's what I got.
Yeah, that's what I also got out of it.
So,
I love driving with people like you.
I'm going home.
Because then it's like a race.
To me, the worst type of driver I've found, and I'm not racist, are black women.
Oh boy.
Nothing
They're
is
bad.
nothing is worse.
They are
than
bad.
that.
Oh, boy.
They are definitely bad.
There goes our target market.
Middle-aged black women.
That is
Name LaQuisha.
Right. No, that's bad. That's also
That's
really
bad.
I mean, I don't think it's as bad as old people, but they're bad. Especially when they drive like
it's
the
a
beat up
close
Chargers,
second.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean? They have like the beat up,
Oh,
like
yeah.
the beat up, like
With rolling on two
nicer
speeds.
cars. Yeah, like I'm like, man,
yeah, some
like,
all 4 donuts on that boy.
Right, like, I'm like,
all the
man,
tires are
man.
donuts.
oh man.
So, all right. Well, that was my subtopic, and here's the real
Oh, I'm excited.
topic.
This is the
topic.
steak and
So-
potatoes, boys.
So we're warmed up.
All
We're
right, we
warmed
had
up
our
for the main
appetizer.
We had a
topic.
good conversation. Yep, I just served you guys the appetizer from
Okay.
Granite City,
Oh god.
and now we got the main course. So I actually gave this one to Diane and Phelan,
Ooh, yeah,
and they
told me
didn't
that-
take
they
it.
they told me that you gave them one, but they
So
didn't do it.
the topic, we all have, our friends group is pretty large,
Okay.
and we all kind of like met each other in a weird way.
Uh-huh.
So my topic is first impressions.
Oh yes, we've been waiting for this. Oh boy, see that spike right there? That's excitement.
my
Dude,
God.
first impressions is great. Give me someone. Go. Let's go.
Wait, so we're
bring
just-
someone up.
so
Bring
we're-
someone
so
up.
we're just
All of our friends groups, we're just going through the list and just like we're going through.
Man,
each
we're gonna
other.
need longer than friggin' 30 minutes for this. All right, just give me someone.
All right, let's
give
go.
me a name.
No.
Nick Brown, go.
Who's first? You go ahead.
I actually met Nick Barone back when I was in high school, and I liked him. And he was really good at fingerboarding, so tech decking.
Okay.
So
I
that's
remember
what
that.
he was to me. Like that's what he was to me. So my first impression was like I thought he was a really cool kid. I thought he was really mysterious because I only talked to him on Xbox a couple times.
Uh-huh.
But he was like that kid who was like really good at fingerboarding, and that was my first impression of him.
Nick Barone's probably one of my favorite people in the friend group. I think me and him are so similar. We like
Shut up,
hockey.
you're not.
We have all the same tastes in video games. I mean, he's a little more
Gay.
hipster than I am. Like that's pretty much our
Gay.
biggest difference is
Okay,
I'm entitled to my opinion. This is
you're
the
right, I'm
United
sorry.
States of America. Shut
sorry.
the fuck up.
that's one.
Sorry, mom. But yeah, I really
Dude,
like,
honestly,
I really
if your
like
mom is listening to this still,
she's probably
at
listening
episode
upstairs.
6, she's a true fan.
Yeah,
because
well,
we've said some things.
Mommy,
that
hi,
mothers
Mom.
should never hear.
Hi, mom.
Okay, anyway, so Nick Barone.
I like Nick Brown. He's
Well,
I
yeah.
think me and him have a lot
What was
in
your
common.
first impression, though?
My first impression was that he was a really nice kid.
When did you
blah,
meet
blah,
him?
blah.
Do you remember when you met him?
I met him at Grant's house. That was the Fortune Rookies.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
And then,
Wow,
which is
that's
pretty.
weird.
That's pretty much where I met everyone for the
Nice.
first time. The only person I didn't meet there was Dirty Mike.
All right, how about your first like
Andrew.
actual hangout with him though? Like your first hangout with Nick Barone,
Our
like,
first
where you actually
hangout-
got to know him. what I'm
That
saying?
was at your house. We were all in the pool room, and everyone was just cooking each other. And like we were sitting,
that was
we were
funny.
sitting next to each other, and I was just like we were talking about the people's jokes, and then like we were saying like whose was the funniest, and then like everyone that we said was the funniest, like we both started laughing at.
That was
So like he's probably in the friend group. He's probably the person I connected with most the first.
yeah,
If that makes sense.
right. Well, besides me, apart
Well,
from me,
yeah, because I
that
knew
was
you.
when you first started coming around though.
Because I broke up with Kelly a month before that.
R.I.P.
Wow.
R.I.P.
So,
R.I.P.
so
R.I.P.
Wow.
Alexis Polk too,
yeah,
man. Wow.
she's actually dead.
Yeah. Well, she's
Um,
not. Maybe
Oh.
we don't know.
Shout out to Alexis Paul.
And Teresa.
You didn't.
Nick Barone's
no,
girlfriend.
stop.
Please, I always have to shout out.
Okay,
to her.
but work it in.
Like,
if
okay.
we're
Well,
talking
we
about
are talking about
trees.
Nick
I'll
Barone.
throw you in later. Oh yeah, Nick Barone. Nick Barone's girlfriend threw it in. Teresa,
Okay, who's
shout out.
next
What
then?
up? Okay,
Who's
next.
We only-
Okay.
literally down here.
Drew McGuire, go.
Boy. Drew McGuire.
Wait, can I just say one thing about my first impression of Drew?
Yeah,
So I met him when I transferred high schools to Cosno. And my first impression of him was...
Wait, where'd you go before?
I went to Tower.
That's how he knows Aquila.
That's how I know Quayla.
Hi, Quayla.
She ain't listening.
Love you.
I told her not to listen.
And so I met Drew, and I actually had met Brittany before Drew, and we had started talking, and then I learned that he was her cousin.
Yeah.
And so I was always, a little bit like intimidated. And then when I actually met the guy, I was like, I have nothing to be intimidated of. Because he's just,
Yeah, he's
he's
a clown.
he's just a cool
Drew
clown.
Drew has no intimidation factor at all. So
Yeah, pretty much.
I like Drew. Drew's
let's
Drew's
hear
really,
it.
Drew's hilarious.
Drew McGuire.
I don't really remember the exact time that we met. Like I've always known of him through Grant,
Right.
and through Adrian, because Adrian and Grant were really good friends, so that's how we knew him. I don't remember the first time I met him, but I also was intimidated by him the first time, because I just felt like he was so like then I thought it was kind of like confident, but now it's just like he's just loud,
Right,
like
yep.
he's still like a confident person, but back then, like I thought he was more business than he actually is, because he's a clown, you
Yeah,
know, and I didn't
of
know
course.
that,
Drew is a clown.
right, but like I didn't even know that really.
No.
Yeah, but
that
then
makes
when I
sense.
started to get to know him more, like my first impression was like,
His freaking gorilla impression is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
right, but I mean, I don't know, but I didn't really know him that much, but he used to come around with the Grant and all of them, and I think the first time I actually maybe even was the milk bucket challenge, milk
Gallon
challenge, the milk gallon
Dude,
challenge.
that's like when I met all of you
Right,
guys.
and that's when I think 'cause- see, and that's when I first I met Sam and I met Drew and I even met you before that,
Right.
at like parties and stuff.
Yeah.
But
never
Never-
hung out.
yeah, I never hung out
Yeah.
with you guys.
That gallon challenge, I remember I didn't know who Frank was or Christian
that was
or
over
any.
a year ago.
Yeah, and I just remember seeing these like skinny kids with their shirts off
that
and
was
drinking
over a
milk,
year ago.
and I was like, dude, what is going on
my
right now?
God.
Wait, when
dude.
what? That was
That was last summer, not this. That was summer between 12 or
Yeah, that
12
was
and 13.
our
summer.
freshman year of college,
jeez.
or after we graduated. That was crazy.
Wow.
I didn't.
No,
go to that.
13, 14 summer. I'm sorry, because this was 14.
Dude. No,
I remember you
Yeah.
talking
dude,
about
I don't
that.
think. No,
Because we're in the 14. We just did the 14, 15
Oh, so it
summer,
was the
so it was
thir-
between
okay.
13 and 14.
I remember you talking about that. You were like, "Yeah, me and my friends did a milk gallon challenge where you chugged milk," and I was just like, "That's really fucking stupid."
Because you're still dating Kelly, so you're still like, oh,
Yeah, so I
I'm
thought-
20 years
I
old.
thought I was cool, and
Oh, man, dude. I can't believe that was so long ago. But yeah, that's how I felt about Drew.
can you stop
First
bringing
cool.
up my ex-girlfriend? Jesus.
Yeah, I brought it up at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Drew's hilarious.
Yeah, what was your first impression?
He's hilarious. Top 10 funniest people I've ever met in my life.
Yeah, he is.
Top 10.
He
For
is. He is.
all right.
Slipping in the top.
Me and Mike with the next one, Lance Dahl.
Lance Dahl.
Ooh.
Because
Here's a
I
good one.
have mine. So I want
Oh,
to
here's a good one
first.
because
This
me and Mike
is-
have a rocky story. Well, we really don't.
It's
actually.
not Rocky.
I
It's,
remember the first time I met you, Mike.
see, I don't remember shit.
Really?
Well, I mean, I
We were
remember.
in Tig's basement.
Yeah, we were in the Tig's basement, and
You walked in and we're
I
talking.
remember
to
Kristen.
Kat.
Kristen kept saying, like, I would always tease Kristen, and I would always say, like,
Oh, you got a boyfriend.
not that you have a boyfriend, but I'm like, you talk about this kid all the time. You say you like him, but you guys aren't dating. And I was like, why isn't that
She
happening?
talked about me.
She talked about you. Yeah, like
The
whenever
truth
I was,
comes out.
whenever.
Wow, she talked.
yeah,
4
whenever
years
we were-
later.
whenever we were
Gossiping
hanging
about
out.
me. Just kidding.
But then, was Dave there? Dave was there that night too, wasn't he?
No,
He
Dave
wasn't there?
Dave wasn't there the first night I met you.
Because I remember Dave liked you a lot too. But
Yeah, but that
I-
was after the first time I met you. Like I met
we just
you the
cl-
first time.
We just clicked. You know what
we
it is?
did. We really did.
Like, imagine finding the first corner piece in a puzzle. That's what happened when I found Lance.
The thing is though is
And
that
then I never
what about
completed the puzzle.
what about Dave though? Like you know what I mean? Like because that summer you and Dave are still coming around like a lot.
Yeah.
You know, but the thing is that Dave went off to school.
Dave went off to school that summer.
Right.
Right? Yeah. But yeah, Dave thought you were funny, and then I thought you were funny.
'Cause I am.
But then I ended up hanging out because
Right.
our girlfriends
Right.
at the time
Mm-hmm.
became. Wow, I just brought her up again.
Shots fired at the.
But no, they were really good.
Yeah,
friends.
they were.
Yeah. Well.
That's cool.
R.I.P. to that.
Yeah.
What about you, Steve?
Dude, so, okay. So I didn't even know Lance at the time. I've never met him. And I remember I was over Grant's house one evening, and me and Drew went over there, and we didn't know, but Lance or it was Carson's party, one of Carson's yearly parties.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And
You know what? That might be where I met you the first time.
No, it wasn't me, because I didn't go.
What, Drew?
Drew went.
Okay, that might be where I met him
So
first.
it was Carson's yearly party. I'll never forget that. Grant was getting ready to go.
Yeah.
It was like, so it was the year before you met. I think it was the year before you met, like really met Drew.
Okay, yeah.
So like maybe the first one.
Right.
And only Grant went, because me and Drew went over there, and Grant was like, "Oh, I'm about to leave." So I was like, "Who's Lance?" And Grant's just like, "Yeah, yeah, Lance. He's just this really fat, funny kid." And I was like, "Oh, really?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then he goes, and then Grant goes, "Yeah, he has a really hot girlfriend." I was like, "What?" Like, let me see. And so he showed me Kristen, and then I was like, "All right, let me see Lance now." And he showed me Lance. I was like,
Kristen's okay.
Yeah.
"What?"
6 out of 10.
I was like, how are they like together?
Big penis.
Exactly. That explains it. But I couldn't like, and then he's like, "Yeah, but he's like super funny." So I was like, that's it. So that was my first impression. Wow. Lance is just he's the really fat kid with a hot really girlfriend. Funny kid with the hot
You know
girlfriend.
what though? I think that's a lot of people's first impression of me. Like, yeah, he's a fat kid, but he's got a really hot girlfriend. So people are like, "Oh, might as well hang out with him. He knows what he's doing." Wow, that's
so that was I'll never forget that just because.
It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
That was funny.
But it's real.
That's real.
That's why you were friends with me, to be honest.
Oh man.
I was friends with you because I had to be.
Yeah, honestly, that's honestly true.
All right, so next one isn't really like a first impression of someone specific, but it's like a big event that happened where a lot of our friends met, and that was Adrian's birthday party at Mason's house.
Didn't go.
Oh,
Didn't go to that. You know
okay,
what?
so step out.
Wait, can I start? I was supposed to go to that.
Yeah.
But then I don't know what happened,
Probably
but I
Kelly.
just no, it wasn't that. I was supposed to go that night, and then I didn't go. And then all of a sudden I'm seeing it all over Twitter. I'm hearing it all over freaking everything, and I'm like, I should have went to that.
Dude, that party, I mean, so going to a private school, okay, for all my life.
Oh, feel bad for me.
No, I'm not saying feel bad for me, but like that party was it was so much fun. Like it was honestly, it was so much fun.
Do you remember me and you were the only ones doing homework?
Yeah, we were gonna do homework, and I remember we were on Twitter or a group chat or something. I think it was Twitter, but I was like, "Yo, dude," and I didn't think it was gonna be that big of a thing. I thought it was gonna be like maybe like 10 guys there, all guys, because like that's how our friendships usually go out. So I thought it was just gonna be like 10 guys, and next thing I know, there's like 60 people there, and I'm like, "Steve, you still doing homework?" And it was just like, and then you and Frank found out you guys were in each other's class. That was awesome. Yeah, dude, that was great. That was so much fun, and I was walking around my water because like, I don't drink. That was so much fun.
Oh, water. Yeah, I just remember all these random people like keep walking in the door.
Right, people just kept coming.
I was like, "Dude, Adrian, did you invite these people?" He's like, "No, I don't know any of them."
Oh, that was so much fun.
Wait, so how'd that get so big then?
Twitter.
The address was on Twitter.
Yeah. And like people that like Mason went to high school with but never talked. He's like, yeah, I've never talked to them. Like they just came. And there was a girl and her name was Dominique Winters, and she was at that party, and I know she saw me because I saw her and we kind of like made eye contact. But she was in my humanities class at the time, and she sat in like in the complete opposite corner, and like we like made eye contact, and it was one of those things where like we were at the same party. That's weird, and it was weird.
You didn't talk to her?
No, I didn't talk to her.
At least say hi. Like,
No, I didn't say.
So how about that humanities test? Know what I'm saying?
No, I didn't talk to her because she came in with a group of like weird stoner kids, and I was like,
yeah, that was
bunch of hellsers.
I remember I asked Mason like, who are these people? He's like, I don't know. I think they're Barone's friends, and they were all like the stoners.
And Barone didn't know me.
And Barone was like, I don't know these kids.
It was a lot of fun though. That was a great.
Yeah,
party.
that was nuts.
I'm pissed.
Yeah, you really missed out. That was.
Dude, that was.
Like, I think if they come up with time travel, that's the first thing I'm gonna do.
No, you'll mess everything up. I hope they
like I'll ride to the party and then
like none of us will probably be friends after that. Like,
wow.
Oh man.
So that was a good time. All right, so next two, they're going together. Phelan, Diane, go.
Phelan and Diane.
So we're gonna use our show pass, right? Our one pass per show.
No, this is a good one because
Okay.
the first time I met Phelan, and I didn't know this, and it wasn't until a little bit like later into it.
Did I meet Phelan?
Well, when I first met Phelan was actually at a New Year's Eve party.
Okay.
And she came up to me and she said happy birthday, but like I don't remember really anything from that party. And I don't know why. Like I just don't really remember like them, like they weren't like, but I guess Phelan was there with Grant's girlfriend and she said, "Oh, it's your birthday, happy birthday." And I said, "Oh, thanks." And then I met him again at Fortune Rookies, but I don't remember them from there either. And
Fortune Rookies were at Grant's basement.
yeah, and the first time my first impression of Phelan.
Wait, they were there?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Phelan,
I don't even remember them being there.
I thought she told me that. No, I don't think Diane was there. I think Phelan was there. I think she told me that, but I could be completely wrong. So Phelan, if you're listening and you hear this, and I'm wrong, like you'll get pissed about it, but like grow up, honestly. And speak of the devil.
well, yeah, I texted her and I said, when did I meet you? But I honestly don't know.
But actually, my first impression of Phelan was I thought that she was a lot more serious than she is.
Yeah, okay.
Because like I like the first time I like talked to her, I was asking her about soccer because I wanted her to play soccer.
Right.
And so
I think that's when I met her.
we were texting, and I just thought like she was like this mysterious like I'm not saying she's immature, but I thought she was like serious. Like I didn't think she was like joking. I didn't think she was like funny. Like I didn't think and, like you know what I mean.
Yep.
So yeah, that was my first impression of Phelan. And then Diane, I don't know. Like I was like, oh yeah, that's Phelan's friend. But, but now she's so much more.
Phelan's friend. So you just like
now she's so much more.
She just like came with Phelan basically.
Right, and I'm not saying like that was my first impression.
Right.
It was just like, oh, it's just Phelan's friend.
Right.
But obviously like now I
Oh,
don't think that.
yeah.
Okay, now so
I met her at B-Dubs when we had...
oh yeah!
I met her at B-Dubs.
And that was Amy was there too.
Yeah, I met Amy there. What's Amy's last name? Is it like...
Kazagorowski.
Kazagrashki.
Oh.
Regina Lashaj.
Regina Garage Lajaj.
Shout out to Regina.
Yeah, no, I met her at at B-Dubs because we were supposed to play soccer with them, and I was like, hey, I'm going to be playing soccer with you. And then they were really quiet, so I was like, okay, I'm going to go back to my side of the table.
Yeah, I think I told that you wanted to date her.
Well, no, you know what? Oh my god, you're such an asshole sometimes. But no, because I went to that side of the table to talk to Nick Barone, and they were sitting there, and I was like, oh hey, I'm gonna be playing soccer with you guys, because she organize that dinner. It was supposed to be like a team bonding thing. Or
no, they didn't. Phelan was supposed to, like, we had like a joke kind of, but I was hoping like she would actually do it.
Yeah, but they actually showed up, which was
right.
cool.
But it was like I set it up. Just some people going there, and
wow. Okay, you got the
come.
credit. Are you happy?
Yeah, I got the credit.
And then
smooth.
Diane, I don't remember when I met Diane, but it's probably not really important either.
Right, it's not because Diane's not important. So, next.
Which is weird because Phelan and Diane have been over to my house more than like some of my closest friends.
Yeah, majority of them actually.
And they've only been over like 4 times.
I would say in our friend group they would be second right after me.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, it's weird.
More than Adrian.
Yeah, it's weird.
More than Jeff. Jeff has actually never been over, and me and him are probably like
pretty close. Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, no, Diane's cool.
Yeah,
Shout out to
well,
Diane.
when I had known them from Lighthouse, or like known.
Oh yeah,
I known
forgot about
of
that.
them.
I forgot that
Right.
they were.
Or I known
involved
of
in that.
Phelan. Okay. And
Phelan, but not Diane.
Not Diane.
Okay.
And then I figured out Diane was this kid Trevor, who's her brother, Trevor Verrier, her sister
okay.
or his sister.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But Phelan, so I kind of knew of them or whatever. And the one thing I'll never forget about when like they started hanging around our group was how all of our friends, the question was, who's hotter, Diane or Phelan? That was the question,
dude.
That everyone.
Honestly, that still gets brought up.
We've had like our conversations.
We really
about
have.
that.
Who's hotter, Phelan or
Literally
Diane?
breaking down every single point. Like
No comment, by the way.
left eyebrow. Who's hotter, Diane or Phelan? Well, the one is it's just. It's
Yeah,
stupid
we do
shit.
have break-
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Who's that's funny. All right, next person.
All right, next person. We're gonna throw one out there. Mason.
Mason Will.
Fucking dude.
I actually met Mason. I met Mason through Xbox first, and I met him because I used to hang. Okay, back in like when I
Back in like
8th grade maybe.
Uh-huh.
I was like 13, I think. I was good friends with this kid named Kyle, and he was good friends with like that group, Mason's group.
Okay.
Like he was good friends with this kid Brad Smallridge. Do you know him? Brad, you know Brad? He played soccer.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
Brad,
played on-
Brad.
Yeah, he was good
okay.
friends with him. Him and Kyle were like best friends.
Okay.
And you know Joey?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were friends with him, and so like we were like, so I went to Joey's birthday party, and I knew Mason on Xbox, but I actually had him muted because he was really annoying and loud. And then I met him, and basically like me and Mason got like excluded from everything because everyone was playing Magic, like the card game, and me and him didn't want to play, so me and him like just hung out the whole time, and it was great, and we became friends, and that was my first impression was this kid's really cool.
But he was annoying and loud and annoying on Xbox.
Yeah,
That
he
was
was
somewhat of a
super,
first
which is
impression
like,
also.
I mean, which is how he is in real life.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty much.
I've heard a lot about Mason before I met him. Mostly through Jeff and Gina. Gina was like, yeah, Jeff plays hockey with this kid that always gets kicked out of games for no reasons. And I'm like, wow. And I was like, he
that's
sounds like
Mason.
a douche. And then, but like I met him, and I mean, he was cool. He was cool. I mean, you could tell that, like, you know how Mason like talks and it's just like lying, like he's just never being truthful.
Right.
Like that's how it was.
That's funny.
That's how it was when I first met him, and I was like, oh, and I was like, he's being serious. But then like, I had a conversation. The first time I talked to Mason, Barone was there too, and like, Barone doesn't really lie very well.
Right.
And so like I could see it on his face, and I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, you're just being sarcastic. Got it. Plus, I'd been warned about him too.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
So I knew what to expect with Mason. Yeah, Mason will.
Mason will.
What?
And that was a good one, Mason will. All right. So one more, and then we're gonna do questions
Perfect.
because we're kind
All
of
right.
like running.
We'll
down.
end it while he's not here. Dirty Mike.
Dirty Mike Bojanik. Let's just
Yo.
throw Gerald in there too.
And
already.
Gerald. We'll go both.
Oh, okay, so I'm gonna start with Dirty Mike Bojanik. When I first met Dirty Mike, we were hanging out, I was at Kenny Dolan's house, and it was me and a bunch of people that I knew, and Grant was there, and Drew called Grant, said, "Hey, what are you doing?" He said, "We're at Kenny's," and that was one of the first times I met Drew. I didn't really know Drew then either, and that was the first time I met Mike Bojanik. And I just thought he was hilarious. I just thought he was so funny. And it was dark, but like I just remember like thinking like, man. And he was with Evan,
Okay.
Big Evan.
Yep.
And I was just thinking, I was like, dang, like these kids could beat my ass. And when I first met them, I thought they were like douchebags. Like
Yeah.
when I first saw them from afar, and then when I started talking to them, I'm like, wow, you guys aren't douchebags. You guys are sweet. You know what I mean? And like you could still beat me up. So I was kind of like intimidated because like you could beat me up, but like. They were just really funny, and then like after that, I always just thought like Mike was really funny. Came my phone.
Dirty Mike is awesome. Dirty Mike was one of the first people that, besides Barone, that I got along with. We were at Mason's house one night, and it was me, Lance, Dirty Mike, and Jeff or Carson. Was it Jeff or was it Carson?
At my house.
No, it was at Mason's house, and we left to go get pizza. Remember? Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, Carson. It was me, Carson, and Mike.
Yeah, it was Carson.
Yeah.
We all left, and then that's when like me and Dirty Mike actually like. sat
Yeah,
down
we
and-
had a really good talk.
Yeah,
with
that's
him.
like when I actually. That's the first time I actually sat down and had a conversation with him, and then like we talked all the way back. That's hashtag whale me gang. That's when all that came up. Oh my god, yeah, that was sweet.
What about Gerald?
Gerald was the first person that I actually met in the friend group.
Really?
Yeah, and no, it was Tiffany Lee. Shout out to Tiffany Lee.
I thought it was
Tiffany
Carson.
Lee.
I mean, does Carson really count? I've been talking to Carson. I met on Xbox, and we talked. I have actually talked to Carson for a year before I actually met him. I met his two brothers before I actually met Carson. But no, Gerald was funny. Gerald, if there's one thing in my life that I was lacking at that point in my life, it was a black friend.
Oh, honestly,
and,
I feel
and
you.
Gerald
Wow.
stepped into my life. It's
Dude.
like God was like, "Here's Gerald," and I was like, "Thank you."
Dude,
No, because one of my best friends in high school, his name was Brandon Perry. Shout out to Brandon Perry. He's dead now.
he's not dead.
No, but yeah, he went away to college. Then I
Yeah.
lacked a black friend. I lacked diversity.
Right. Gerald with me was so right out of high school when I started actually hanging out with Mason, Barone, and Frank, and Jesse Evans at the time. when I first started hanging out with him, like, they always talked about Gerald. They always talked about him. They're like, yeah, me and Gerald used to be best friends. We used to be boys. And every time Gerald would hang out with them, I couldn't hang out. And, like, I was, like, pissed. And one day, you know, Mason calls me up, and he's like, yo, like, come over. He's like, we're about to hit up a bonfire tonight. And it was a girl named Siobhan Finley. So, Siobhan Finley, if you're listening, shout-outs to you. And so I remember, you know, he was like, yeah, Gerald and my boy Paul are coming. And I remember Gerald walked in, and I was like, it was so, like, surreal. Because it was like, I've heard so much about this kid.
Surreal.
And he comes up to me, and literally ever since that point, it's like we've been boys for a long time. Because, like, even, like, after I met him that night, I met him one more time after that, and then we went up north together. And we slept in the same bed. And, and it was just, like, he just was so, like, he was really just, like, embracing, like, where, like, you know, like, inclusive, where it just really felt like, you know, we've been friends for a while.
Cool.
So that was
the up north experience really brings people closer together.
It really does, man.
Something about Mason's Cottage.
Mason's Cottage, man.
So, like, if you're ever feeling down, like, you need some friends, just ask
Mason's
Mason
Cottage.
to play in a cottage.
And you probably won't be invited, but
Yeah, shout out to that. One more thing before we get to the questions, I just want to bring up probably one of the lowest points. I wasn't part of it, but I've heard many stories about this and of our friend group, and that would be the friendship draft.
Oh, the friendship draft.
So,
I wasn't part of it either.
I
Mike
loved
wasn't
the
part of
friendship
it either,
draft.
but
I loved it.
Now, how well did you guys, like, really know each other when that actually happened?
Well, like I said, I've known Mason for a while, and because of his personality and, like, my personality, like, we were the ones who decided to do the friendship draft. But really, everybody on there, besides my group of friends, like Carson, Christian, Adrian, because Christian Flanagan was on the list, AJ Percola. Have you met AJ?
AJ,
Aaron
I know who.
I've never met him. Like, I knew all them, but I barely knew Frank. I knew Nick Barone fairly well. I knew Jesse fairly well. I didn't know Gerald. I didn't know Josh McCarthy. I knew Joey very well. Right. But a lot of people on, like, from the Lance Cruz side, I didn't know at all. And that's where it was, like, really funny. So it was funny when, like, it was a bunch of, like, my boys, and then, like, I had, like, Gerald. You know, like, it was funny.
So who was the final pick?
I don't remember. I really don't remember. My number one pick was Carson, and then his was Jesse, and then mine was Frank.
Your number one pick can't be Carson. He's your cousin. That's cheating.
No, that's how it works.
It's just how it is.
Friendship draft. Oh, I'm going to draft my family. I'm going to draft my dad.
I thought the term was blood's thicker than water, but I don't know.
I thought the term was...
Right, I am. I'm very gay.
Questions, here we go. We're at the 37-minute mark, so we're just going to blow through them. Oh, yeah, you got to freestyle at the end of this.
Oh!
Redemption, Steve. Think of it like that.
The redemption.
Should I get Frank?
Yeah. Frank.
Roast Frank.
Hashtag Frank.
Hashtag the Frank roast.
All right.
But questions first.
Okay.
I shouldn't ask this. Never mind.
Let me see.
No,
let me see.
I read it to you at B-Dubs, remember? That one? I'm not going to read it.
Yeah, you shouldn't read that one. What's a 2SP?
Huh?
What's a 2SP?
That was my former work.
What?
That's where I used to work.
Wait, it was called 2SP?
2SP, yeah.
Okay.
That's why they called you 2SP?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. We were just wondering.
Yeah,
that's why... Wait, so what does that stand for?
It's speed, strength, performance. So it's like 2S and then P.
I thought they called you... Isn't SP like the suntan, like, resistance? Isn't that what they call it?
SPF?
SPF. Wow. I'm going to edit that out.
Oh, you're good.
I thought that's why they called him 2SP, because he needed to get...
Nope.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man. Okay, all right, so questions.
My question is, why am I such a fucking idiot?
Oh, because that's true. But...
What's your question?
I actually don't have any questions.
Alright, well, I'll read mine. I'm not going to like it, though. I'm not going to read this. I'm not going to read it.
Why?
Because it's the stupidest
I'll
question
read it.
ever.
I'll read it.
No!
I can read it.
No. Dirty Ralph, if you're listening, shout out to you. Where the fuck you are. No, that's good. We need some outside listeners, and...
I'm trying to find this question. Where the fuck did it go?
This is really awkward.
Yeah, come on, dude.
Okay,
you should have these queued up.
This
ready
is
to go.
this is from an anonymous source. How many 2SP dumbbells can you stick up your butt? You want to guess who that's
Yeah,
from?
you get one guess.
Everyone gets a
Wow.
guess. I'm pretty sure you can.
I have
guess
a
it.
good feeling I know who it's from.
Please
Who?
say it. You're gonna be right.
Is it Frank?
Yeah.
I know.
Actually, I do have a question since we asked that one. I'll ask this one. The question is, and you get to guess who it is. Why? And we've talked about this, and like it's a real thing. But he's trying to be funny here. But it's why does Steve get so mad at soccer and get that vein in his forehead?
What vein in his forehead?
I don't know what he's talking about with the vein.
Why
And
did
he's
you-
trying to be funny, and you can guess who this is.
Please guess who it is.
Try. I don't think you'll get it.
Wait,
'cause-
did he play with us?
It's clearly
Yes,
someone who played.
yeah, I'll
It's
tell you
clearly
that.
someone who played. with us.
Man.
It's not me or Lance.
Yeah,
So
and it's
there's
not
Okay.
Frank.
Yeah,
Frank just submitted like 7 questions for Steve.
I'm going to go with Adrian.
No, it's not Adrian.
No.
And I can't tell you who it
Yeah.
is.
Okay, that's fine.
Dang it.
So the whole mad thing in soccer, well, I used to get the first season was bad in getting mad, and then I tried to like working on it and not getting like caring as much because we're all pretty competitive, you know.
Right, yeah.
So it gets like pretty heated when like we're in a close game or
It
whatever.
is, yeah.
And also being goalie, it's kind of hard because when you're goalie, you can't really help the team
Yeah,
on
and you
offense.
see everything.
You just are watching like what's going on in
When
offense.
people mess up.
Yeah, so you're like, oh
That's-
man, like I wish I could have done something different there.
Right.
You know, so you don't get to really help. You can't like you're not a factor. But so that's pretty much what the reason why I quit or stopped playing was just because
Right, yeah,
I needed a
that
break
makes sense.
from the competitiveness.
It was hard. It was hard. Like some of those seasons were hard
Why?
because it just
I just love playing, I guess.
Soccer
I guess
was-
it's different for me.
soccer was fun. I was not good at soccer.
Yeah. that's
Honestly, the last season that we just had was probably one of the best ones. Like,
fun. On the Wednesdays?
Sundays.
no, the season before Sunday where we came in second, where we
Oh,
almost
the Sunday
we
one?
lost 2
Okay.
games.
Look,
Yeah, that
I
was
want to
fun.
give a shout out to my Thursday
Jessica.
niggas because
Yeah.
even though we were awful, we still had a lot of heart.
Yeah, I play on Thursday too.
Yeah, see, we
Yeah.
had a lot of heart.
So
Y'all so suck, no.
We're at 42
2 minutes, exactly, wow.
That's a good amount of time.
Perfect.
Steve, thanks for coming.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
thanks
great
for having me. It was
you.
fun.
Do you want to plug anything? What's your Twitter?
Well, I don't go on Twitter much, but it's at Steven Skorna, no spaces.
Do you want people to? What do you want people to know you as? Like, if you could die, if you
Yeah,
died.
like, what do you
want to
go out as?
How do you want people to know you?
I want to go out as someone that like is speaks their mind and the truth and you know, a lover.
Also, if you haven't seen him shirtless, you should.
Oh, yeah. Actually,
I'm saying?
yeah. You should.
Yeah.
He's got a nice body.
Lance had a picture and showed everyone.
Oh,
Yeah. I actually asked for that picture.
How did you
You
do
did.
that? How did you
I just
do that?
asked him for a
He
picture
asked
of him with
me,
his shirt
and
off.
I was
and he
like
gave it to
being
me.
stupid. And he ended up sending it to his girlfriend.
Right.
Yeah, look at
So that
Steve
was cool.
Skorna.
Look what I'm not, woman. All right. So here are 43 minutes. We're gonna wrap things up,
was
but we always like to end it, except for Nick Barones, and I always feel like I have to say that, but except for Nick Barones,
Yeah.
we always have to end it
That's
with a rap and a little bit of background before he lays some bars. I want to say
down.
about 6 months ago.
Calm down.
Frank and Steve Skorna got into a rap battle. Steve, you kind of choked. All right, Frank kind of fried you. So now it's redemption. This is redemption hour right here. So Mike's gonna drop a beat. Okay, tell him what kind of beat you want, and then
You should go acapella.
it's redemption.
Acapella.
No, don't go acapella.
you
No,
should go
I don't want to go
because-
acapella.
Back him up at least. Like when he hits a lyric, like he says, "Oh, all my bitches," and you go, "Bitches."
No, we're not gonna do that. But you
No.
should drop the beat.
I just want like something slow because
Something simple.
I'm not even gonna lie to everyone. I
Ooh.
can't rap, but I got to get Frank back.
Ooh.
So
here we go.
Also, when you listen to this episode, tweet at us and let me know and let us know what you think.
Yeah, who won
'Cause
the rap battle?
we
Especially
want-
if you were there.
We want more interactions from our followers, so hashtag
I don't.
BHOT,
I hate you all.
BHOT podcast.
Every one of you.
We lost our target market of the middle-aged black girls, but you know.
So
we
we're
want
gonna
everyone else.
focus on young white girls.
Okay, here we go. Something simple.
All right.
Yeah. I am Steven. I cannot rap. Maybe I should just go take another lap. Hey. Wait, so on. Sorry. Messed up. Alright, let's keep going.
We gotta get Frank's ass.
Frank, you got me. I cannot rap.
Okay.
Lance is flicking off the screen right now and making me laugh. Alright, this is horrible.
Middle finger.
This is
All right. Give us 30 more seconds, Steve. Give us 30 more seconds and we're out.
30 more seconds and we're out.
All right.
Frank, you ugly. You really are. I don't know what you are. You're not a star. You suck that dick. Cannot rap. Cut it out. I suck. I'm sorry.
Thank you for our listeners, and have a great night.